Hey guys, it's MegaZombie101 here, and today I'm doing a Rimworld tutorial. And this is a general guide because this game has not a very large learning curve, but it definitely is up there. So I will show you the very basics of it. So you have 3 storytellers. Now the first AI storyteller, every now and again it just throws stuff at you like raids. And if you're not doing well, it gives you resource drops or animal attacks and stuff like that. I don't know how to say her name. Phoebe Base Builder. She's called Base Builder because she gives you a lot of time between disasters, but those disasters are freaking crazy once it happens. And I've played with her a few times, and she gives you a ton of time, like months without action. Kind of gets boring. And Randy Random does not care what kind of stage you're in. He literally just throws stuff at you, crazy stuff, or just sometimes he gives you nice stuff. So I usually like Cassandra Classic, and so here are all your modes. Okay, so Extreme Challenge, Casual. It's just basically like the challenge, as in combat. More dangerous people come in to attack you, and just more of the elements are against you. But we're going to be in Base Builder mode, just for me to give you the basics. So what you want to do before you create a new colony is you want to make a new world, and all you gotta do is just say how big you want it and just make a world, and then when you make a new colony, your world will show up. So once you have created a world and you're ready to select your colony, you find you pick a place, you pick like a pixel in this vast planet. So this is your world, and you want to select a site. Now the green is forests, the dark blue is, you can see here, the biome, the boreal forest. I've never actually been there. It's very cold on average, and the light blue is tundra, ice sheet, desert, what is that? It's the arid shrubland. And so yeah, I like forest a lot. That is what I usually pick. And I like mountains. You can see the terrain right here. Like mountains or large hills is usually what I go for, because well, I love that there is a distinct, I like that there's a large amount of mountains that you can build into, and the fact that if you're going onto a flat land, where there's no mountains, a lot of the resources, including steel, plasteel, uranium, gold, silver, you're not going to be able to mine those. So I really like the mountains biome, terrain. And down here in the advanced, you can select exactly how big you want it. Ludicrous can be pretty resource heavy. But the next update that actually came out today, which if you play this you'll obviously have or just want, once you get that, it boasts some pretty significant changes in performance, some increases. So hopefully that is as good as it says. So you just want to select a site, and then you'll basically be given this. So this is the character creation. I can't really say it's creation because you're not really creating them. They're random. And what the skills you want to look for is you want someone who's good at mining. If you have a mountains or large hills terrain, you want someone who's good at mining. You want someone who's good at constructing, because they'll construct anything fast. You'll definitely want maybe 1 or 2 people that are good at constructing if you build on a flatlands, or just somewhere that you'll just build a house outside of a mountain. I like to hide inside of a mountain because they're easily defendable, and I like carving out rooms in big mountains. I think they look nice. But anyways, so you want someone who's good at mining, constructing, and crafting, and then you also want another person who is slightly good at growing, medicine, cooking, and social. Someone who is good at social is a very, very good thing, because social basically is how they interact with the traders in the game and how they interact with the prisoners in the game. You can collect prisoners, and then have them, you can recruit them eventually, and it's just a great thing to have somewhere. Vladimir, politician. Wow, that's great. Okay. Anyways, we're going to start the world, and I will meet you when we're there. Okay, this is the starting screen. It just tells you, your 3 colonists fall out of space, whatnot, and then they land here, right in front of you. So you hit space for the pause button. Space is your friend in this game. And by the way, you'll hear the amazing soundtrack. I love the soundtrack of this game. And just get a good survey of the land. Well, I guess this would be the mountain I would be wanting to build in if I were to play this for a while. And in fact, that is where we're going to start home base. So you'll see many things around here. You'll see everything around here with a red X. A red X means it is forbidden for your characters to touch it, and they cannot go and grab it. So what you want to do is, if you double click on an item, it will select every item around it that is the exact same. And you'll want to hit F. You want to hit F to unforbid them, because obviously you'll want your characters to be able to have this stuff and use it. And at the start, it gives you 3 weapons: a knife, a Lee Enfield, and a pistol. So what you want to do is you want to get the person who is the best at shooting the Lee Enfield. I'm using logic in these decisions. So the person best, he's very good at melee. Vladimir will get the knife. So what you'll do at the start of this game, just pick a place you want to base in. Oh, also, those are nice. There's some deer there. So I think this is the place I'll want to start at. So the first thing you do is this little architect menu here. This has everything you'll ever need in the game. So for instance, you go to zone. Zoning is what you first do. You'll get a stockpile. So stockpile is basically where you'll set all the important items that you'll need. So basically, if they want to haul the silver or steel or medicine back, this is where they would haul it to. So for anything really interactable, like a storage space or a dumping place or a table, you add a bill okay, instead of storage here, it will say a bill. And basically that is just how you configure it. For instance, this, you can configure exactly what is set in this. So I always like to put it to critical, just for whatever reason. You can put resources on it, food, items, weapons, apparel, but I don't like to put corpses in there. I don't like to put rotten, because they'll end up putting rotten food there. And again, I just love the soundtrack of this game. So you got your, and again, I'm doing this all in the pause menu because, the game is very unforgiving at times, so you want to just keep it at pause at the very beginning and just make sure you get all your planning stuff down. So the next you want to do is you want to get some growing zones. Now, you want them pretty big because, honestly, you're going to need a lot of food for a while. And you can select exactly what you're growing here. And you don't have a whole heck of a lot of food here, but you have like roses or flowers or trees or a few plants that you can eat, strawberries. So we like to have your colonists like to have variety. So one's potatoes, one's strawberries. A lot of mods will add more stuff in the game, and I will put a few mods in the description that I very much recommend for you to have, because they add so much content. None of the mods in the mod pack called the Epic mod pack that I use, none actually change the game too much. They just add straight content because there's a distinct lack of it in this game. There's so much in this base game, but there's not a huge amount of content. So over here it will tell you exactly what you need. So let's get some beds, because we're not going to have an actual spot for them by the time they actually do everything. So what they'll do is they'll just haul stuff, and over here you can put the speed. I usually like to play it 2 times, but this time I'll put it to the max. So over here in orders, basically tells them all they need, like this will be all of the orders they need to know. For instance, I want to mine this so I can get into here. So I designated it to mine, and they will do that eventually. Now, you can also have them haul these things, for example, but there's no place for them to haul it, not yet, because that is what a dumping zone is for. You'll do that, and that's where they will haul all these rocks and stuff from what you mine and from wherever. Keep in mind that these rocks are great places for enemies to hide behind, and it's usually used against you. So don't put your storage or your dumping zone too close to your base, to the entrance of your base. So you can see she's planting and whatnot, and that's all fine and dandy. And in here, the overview. You can basically select what jobs you want them to do and what you don't want them to do. And like for instance, I want everyone to be able to construct and mine. And over here on the left jobs, they will do first because that is their high priority. And on the right is their low priority. And you see, you can't move these. But what if I want someone to, for instance, clean the house before they do anything? So a 4 is if everything is a 4, then they will do high priority jobs first, low priority jobs last, and usually unless you deselect every job, they will never end up getting to the right jobs like cleaning or research. If they already have a bunch of jobs, they will never get to it. So for instance, you don't need to worry about researching right now because later in the game you'll want to get into that, but once you have enough colonists, then you can have someone, for instance, to just research all the time. So basically a 1 is do that first always, and no number means they're not going to do it, but 4 means that's a last priority, 3 means is better than 4, 2 is better than 3, and then 1 is they'll do that first. So if you want someone, for instance, I want him to mine. I had it for number 1, so Vladimir is going to mine for. Excuse me. It's just a coincidence that they all went over there, though. So, that's what they'll do. He's, for some reason, standing. I don't know why. But this, for instance, is steel. Steel you can mine, and you'll get steel. Steel is basically the building blocks for everything in this game, and you'll need a lot of it. That is just a heads up. So, what I wanted to show you guys is if you go into the structures, you see a steel door, steel auto door, not worth it at the start of the game, by the way, and a steel wall and a steel conduit wall. So a steel wall, you click on it and you see silver, steel, and wood, and you basically can click on wood. Wood is a lot cheaper right now, and I don't recommend you using it first off. So what you'll do is you wanna build up just a little, just a little hut for them at first, and then put a wood door on, So basically this game has roofs, but you can't see it. For instance, this, you might not be able to see it, but it's technically roofed off. So anywhere that is sealed has a roof, and it usually takes a door to seal things. So even if something's blocked off, it doesn't mean it has a roof. But if something is, for instance, has a door on it, it is then sealed, has a roof put on it, and that is done. So this is outdoors at the moment, but once you get a wall around it and then put a door on it, it will put a roof on it, and it will be considered indoors. Now, we'll want someone to construct first. Okay, let's put that to 2. We'll want someone to construct first because, hey, they need a bedroom, don't they? They certainly do. So, they'll run and get wood and then build it like that. And you can even put a floor on, nice wood floor and all that. But you gotta remember when you're placing floor, for instance, floors you cannot tear up at this very moment in time. So you need to be careful on where you put them. Make sure you want to keep the area, or if you deconstruct the building, you'll just have wood floor in the middle of nowhere. And a very good point that draws me into the next conclusion. Let's say this hut, was built. What you need to do if you wanted to deconstruct it, because what would usually happen is if you have a huge area without any walls and a roof, you'll have a cave-in. Now, what you can do for that is you can add a no roof region. So you'd want to add that over this and then deconstruct it so the roof, because it just makes the roof disappear, and it will not cave in on you. Same with a mountain. If I select like a huge area like that or like that, it's going to have a cave in and possibly kill someone. Usually when you're deconstructing huts like this, it has a high chance of killing someone because the whole roof caves in. It really sucks when that happens, but there you are. So you'll eventually want to get some solar panels up and then link the power conduits from that, which are just, you know, they're just wire, into some batteries. And you want batteries to be inside because a lot of power, things that take power in this game, they will explode in the rain. And so you'll just want to like dig out a room for the batteries and then have power conduits, which don't explode, go into the base. So for instance, I'm going to turn on development mode, which is basically just like a cheat mode. You know, you can turn God mode on, which lets you instantly build anything. And I would do that to learn how to play the game, because this game has a pretty big learning curve. So I just mined that, or I just built those, you know, and you'll want like wires. But let's say I want well, how do I forget how to, oh, I can just do this. So that just instantly, you know. So I'll want like a door here, and then I'll want batteries like this. So this is perfect. This is exactly what I want. And it will link all these batteries together, and it will start charging them. Because obviously the solar panels do not work at night. So then you want to link it to the base and like this, and don't have them in the rain. And because this has a door, it's sealed and considered indoors. So after you get into that, you know, you'll basically just want to start some of these stuff that requires research. But because I turned on God mode, all the research was done. So, you know, once you get that, and once you get food starting to make, and once you get bedrooms, you'll need to make bedrooms for everyone, because that's what they'll like, that are spacious. And basically these benches that you want, for instance, they'll have a purpose. Now I'm just going to throw a bench down here. This happens to be the butcher's table. Everyone will have a bill, and you add a bill and like, oh, butcher creature. And you can select how many times you want to do, or this thing that says forever. And you can change the config, and you can change what exactly it grabs from. Like, for instance, you can say take from best stockpile, or you can drop the stuff on the floor, and then humanoid corpses, if you have that, it will just cook dead bodies. So every single bench has, you know, every single bench has a bill to it, and it has jobs like this, and everyone that needs power, like these two, will blow up in the rain, for example. So what else? Steel turrets, you'll definitely want those because they will shoot the enemies, but you'll want a good place to put them, basically. So I put them in not a very good place on purpose. So what you'll want to do is this is my base right here. You know, this is my entrance. I'll want to you know, secure that, and people can walk over the sandbags. It just slows them down. So this is what I would do. You know, just like a little area that you can put turrets in, like this. And once turrets receive enough damage, they will explode, and that is when you need to get your characters out of there, because they will die in the explosion if they're too close. So pretty much there's not much else you need to know about this. Once you are pretty much high enough level in the game, you want to get a researcher's bench, and then once you do that, you do the research, and then you will you'll pick what you want to. So that's pretty much it. I have a lot of mods that are not installed currently because I wanted to do this on a vanilla game, but they will they add a lot of content, and I will of course add those to the description. So one of the things that you want to strive for in this game is get everyone their own separate rooms, get them a place that they can eat. So basically a dining room with a table. Everything is in the furniture, you know, a wooden table, for example, or this one made out of solid gold, you know, and you can set that for a gathering spot, and they will sit around it while they eat, and they like that. So that's pretty much all you need to know, is besides once they start growing food and harvesting them, they hate to eat raw food. They absolutely hate it. But you can make a nutrients paste dispenser. Now, of course, you don't want to put it outside, and it sucks a lot of energy. What will happen once you connect this to the power? They'll put food into the hoppers, and it will make a meal. And eventually, they'll start hating the meals it gives, because it's they just hate it. They don't hate it as much as raw food, though. So once you have that, and you have food security, once you get a lot of food, you'll want to make a cook stove and start making simple meals through the Bills tab. And you know, I very much recommend you going on, you know, the development mode, and so you can just you can see what everything does and how the game works, and so you will not, you know, you won't get screwed over, because this game is very difficult. This game is not forgiving in any way. Don't think it is, because you may be tricked at first. You know, this game seems very peaceful, but it is actually a very dangerous game. For instance, your turrets might accidentally shoot your colonist in the crossfire, and they become brain dead. That happens. So that is pretty much it, you guys. I will put the mods in the description. It's super easy to install them, which the mod pack will tell you how to install a mod, and that's pretty much for every mods. All the mods, anyways. So I definitely recommend you check out this game. Definitely check out the Steam Greenlight page and vote for it to become on Steam. And make sure you actually check out the subreddit on this game, because it's very interesting on the tales that happen and information, because the wiki on this game doesn't seem to provide much in its early state. So thank you for watching, and I will tell you again that the pause menu is your friend, so make sure it stays your friend, because it's very useful. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.